What's up, YouTube? Do I have a treat for you today? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris Wright, and I'd like to introduce to you my 2021 Raptor. More on that in a minute. Today, I am at the El Malpais wilderness area on the Chain of Craters backcountry byway. The reason they call it that is because it's a volcanic field, and I'm right now in the shadow of the Zuni Banderas volcano, and it's somewhere in this direction over here. I'm on the Big Tubes Road right now, and the reason they call it that is because when Mount Taylor, well, what's now Mount Taylor, the big stratovolcano in the area erupted, it formed lava tubes. And I'm standing at the mouth of, well, it's a malformed one. It doesn't go very far, but some of them go in this lava flow area all the way back to Mount Taylor, 30 or 40 miles underground, and they're ice caves. So year-round, it is just a tube lined with ice, and it's fun to hike. But this wilderness area is a great way to spend your weekend. It's pretty large, and you can get lost in here for days. And yeah, this is one of my maiden voyages with my new truck. So, like I said, 2021 Raptor 37 Performance Package. As you can see, it is LeadFoot Grey, and if you didn't know, that is the same color as my last Raptor. I am a fan of the LeadFoot Grey. It matches my 2021 four-wheel camper Raven model pop-up camper. And today, I'm just basically going to do an intro video and show you my truck, some of my first mods that I've made, and it's basically video one of my build series for this truck. My last truck, I didn't really start making videos until I had done a lot of mods to it, and this one I wanted to talk about it along the way. Oh, spontaneous zoomies. Sorry. Sometimes you gotta zoom. This is Quartz, my pup, and she's a spastic. So, I did the beadlocks, and one of my first mods when I did the beadlocks, because of the added weight of my camper, the Raptor comes with load range C tires, and with the beadlocks, I did load range, 2 load ranges up to E, and that gave me a little bit of extra capacity to handle the weight of my camper. One of the other things I did was I put the Fouts rear spacer on. Now, right now, I am sitting on an incline and off the road over here. It does, on flat level driveway, have about 5.5 inches of rear clearance. That was unloaded, so camper was dry. No gear or water supplies or anything. So just the camper. And the camper's about 1,050 pounds, according to the sticker on the back. And once again, that's dry, not when it's loaded. I have added a few things, and I'll get to that in a minute, to the camper. So I did the beadlock rings, I did the tires, did the Fouts rear spacer. Really, the only other thing that I've done to the truck so far is I added a next base trail cam, and I put my Valentine one in there. Gotta have my Valentine. And you can see at the 2021, so they're all blue. 2022s have blue and black, not all blue on the seats. Anyway, it does sag a little bit more than I'd like in the rear. I've heard that Eibach is coming out with a kit, and I've heard they're about 4 months away, but I think it lifts it an inch and adds 500 pounds of capacity. So maybe with my spacer, I'll have the preload necessary until somebody makes some sort of an overload spring. But this is the first F-150 that has coil springs in the rear. So this is new. Nobody has a product yet. And it's Corona time, so yada, yada, yada. Product development is slow. But it's not stopping me. I had sufficient clearance from my bump stops that I felt like I could hit the trails. Well, that's pretty much all I've done to the truck so far. I have made a few camper mods. I'm on the shady side now. But one of the camper mods that I've made is when I had the camper put onto the truck. I had the four-wheel camper 3-wire connector removed and an Anderson plug with heavy gauge wire installed. It's heavy gauge all the way to the battery, and the Anderson plug is 2-wire. But I also had a 7-pin connector installed. That 7-pin is just a standard trailer plug. It relays the wires from the Ford's upfitter switches into the camper, where I now have control of my external camper light circuits from inside the truck. So basically, the switch in the truck or the switch in the camper will turn on the rear floods, the under camper lighting, that's in this area right here, and then it'll also do these side lights. So all 3 of those circuits, plus one more, which it's not finished yet, but I had my cell phone booster done. I have one of the WeBoost RVs, and it's all wired and ready to go right here. And I got a cool connector that allows me to flip it. So it wires to the rear battery, and I can also control it from the cab. So I can flip it on and off from the truck's upfitter switches. So that I'm super happy about, having control of all of that stuff through that switch. I also had it done right, so it doesn't backfeed the lines or anything like that. And yeah, so far so good. This trip is kind of the maiden voyage for all of that. 2 more mods that I had that same time was I had a RedArc Manager 30 installed, which is the controller, a super brain for the camper, and it basically took the place of 3 different things. It took the place of the AC charge controller, the solar charge controller on the roof and for the external solar, and the DC input as well. So it manages all 3 of the DC input from the truck. So it manages all 3 of those inputs and controls the battery. And it has a handy dandy screen here where you can see what your battery statuses are and all of that cool stuff, which is something I never really had before. So, I know, squeaky hinges every video. I'm sorry. So, all of that. Also, last mod are my awnings. I had the Easy On put on this side. I had some space constraints. I didn't want some goofy brackets that stuck out a lot, and I wanted a metal casing for the awning, And so I got that one. And then Easy On came out with this shower cube, and I put that on this side. This is my shower port right here, and hot or cold. And so yeah, you flip on the hot water heater, drop that cube, and it's a privacy tent. You can also use it for the loo if you want to do that, or whatever. So anyway, that's really it. Thank you for tuning in, and maybe I'll see you on the trail.